Well, hey, namaste, YouTube. This is Master Lady Kira Ra here, and I hope this is working. And for the few of you that might catch this live, thank you for being here. This is another one of those moments where I was just sitting here really gazing at the next 4 months and being mind blown at everything that's happening and realizing that here we are, right? And I just had to share it with you that we are in this moment where all of the big questions, all of the things are up for you to be able to say, you know what, I'm ready to have an answer to that. I'm ready to know, I'm ready to let go. And as I was gazing at what's coming and the introduction of all the meteor showers, and I've been talking about this for months. I wanted to just say hi, hi, because right now I'm just overwhelmed with the extraordinary blessing of being here with you in this moment. And I know we're going to be together in real time again on Sunday when I'll be live with the June predictions, which are just mind boggling. But I wanted to have this moment with you before then. Just a quick touch in that says, we are at a moment where the ultimate relaxation, everything that's trying to stop you, everything that's coming in around you and gazing ahead into the next 4 months, this is the moment where really coming into your heart with the knowing, why am I here? I mean, you ever sit back with that? I mean, I think we all do at some point, right? We all sit back and say, okay, why am I here? What brought me in? Well, first, the sacred sequence of incarnation. And if you don't know what that is, go to sriandkira.com and learn about it. So with the sacred sequence of incarnation, you were brought here. But we look at that evolution of consciousness. We look at that spiral that we are becoming that extraordinary gift of peace, love, and joy, informed awareness. And so as we accept the greater experience of consciousness itself, as we accept that, I want to remind you that the perennial philosophies, and I just, Sri and Aldous, Huxley, just a phenomenal being, right? Phenomenal, Huxley and Spinoza. So remember that the supreme science, I want to bring us back because this really brings us to the answer to the big question, and it overlays this moment and specifically where we're going right now, which is why I was so excited. I just had to hop on with you and go, this is too big to contain. You guys need to hear this in real time. So remember that the supreme science originated way back when in this specific potentiality in the early part of the first millennium BC. And if you're saying, hey, Kira, this is sounding familiar. Didn't I hear you talk about this earlier this week? The answer is yes. Have you watched the recent episode of Expanding Consciousness? If not, it's right here at this YouTube channel. Watch it when I'm done because I'm not going to keep you too much longer. But I really want you to get this why am I here moment. So in the early part of the first millennium BC, when the supreme science is coming in, which is the inward journey of self, really strong self-inquiry, really the origins of what in me invited this to be, right? Why am I here? What in me invited this to be? Well, in the findings of the perennial philosophies, we actually have this extraordinary base that brought us to right now, this moment that I was like, oh my God, we have to talk, right? Number one, if you go back and you look at any of the if you look at the perennial philosophies, number one, the three things that were found. First one, there is an infinite, and that's really important because it's that recognition of your infinite nature, which begins to first unravel the question of why am I here? Right? So there is an infinite, and this is really important, changeless, and I'm going to use the word reality because that's what they used. There is an infinite, changeless reality beneath the world of change. Really take that in. Why am I here? Well, number one, because you are an infinite being who is continually, which is, get rid of all the adjectives, all the words that seek to stop you. You are this incredible being that is here right now, still trying to cut deals with God. When you're trying to cut deals with God, when you're really just saying, all right, God, I'll do this if you do this, and you do that, and I'll do that. When we're cutting deals with God, we get rid of our own sense of being able to be in the command of that which is. So when we go back into the recognition that you are an infinite being, that there is this extraordinary changeless reality, that infinite, stable presence of pure conscious awareness itself. That no matter what's throwing in front of you, no matter what's trying to confuse you, no matter what's happening in your life right now, hands to heart, go right back there and be in that presence. Because that brings us to the second. And remember, this is all tied in the supreme sciences. And go listen to Expanding Consciousness, the episode that just came out 2 days ago, right here at YouTube or at AMFM 247 if you prefer the podcast. So number two, this same reality, which you got to love, is the same for everybody. It lies at the core of every single human. And here's the key: personality. When we hear that it lies at the core of every human personality, this is really important to remember. Why am I here? Well, you're here first to experience this physical form. And then we fall, right? The first fall is we fall into the emotional or the personality. But then we realize that the co-collective reality, the reality that you are changeless, that you are infinite, that all of that exists, right, is at the core of every single being. It is the epitome. Why am I here? Number two, to remember I am as you are. To really dive into the depth beyond that which seeks to say, I'm here to do this or be that. That's the reverse, right? That's looking at it through the mirror. And that's the big aha, is that when you're looking at it through the mirror, you're never going to quite be clear why you're here. There will always be some other reason or some other thing, because it brings us to number three. You ready? Bring your hands to your heart, because I love this one. Why am I here? What is a perennial philosophy? What is the supreme science way back in the 1st century BC? The purpose of life, this life, in this potentiality, in this moment, is to discover this reality experientially. Because without a body, you can't do that, right? You just can't do that. You are here to really discover all of this experientially. And that is to fully realize the divine while you're here right now, while you're in this body of form. So what I wanted, there's just so much I want to share with you, and we have such a rich, textured early June weekend coming up right away. But remember this, and go to ShriandKira.com and learn what is the Yoga of Self-Ascension. Read, it's all free. Go read it, learn about it. Because there are 4 steps to your ascended presence, to really knowing, why am I here? I am here to remember who I am. I remember when Sri Ramka, my beautiful, beautiful beloved, the unified field that I am as you are now. But I remember when he first asked Archangel Zadkiel 22 years ago, to tell me about ascension. And Archangel Zadkiel laughed and laughed and laughed. And Zadkiel said, Sri Ramka, we find all this talk of ascension so funny, because you're asking to ascend back into that which you already are, which is the reason you are here, for self-ascension, the conscious awareness of your divine presence while in this body. That's why you're here, to remember who you are. That's why all the trials, that's why all the tribulations, and the 4 steps of self-ascension in no particular order. Number 1, release judgment, especially of you. Because until you do, you can't sustain 7th dimensional consciousness, right? Number 2, unconditional love, which is that powerful love, the love that is absolutely in the center of its conscious awareness, that love that will absolutely hold that only the highest be served at any time. Surrender. To surrender, what surrender looks like is when we begin to know why we are here. To surrender what surrender looks like, to stop quantifying and just start, I am here, I am ready, I am open, guide me. Because to be in union, step number 4, is to be in this body, in this incredible body, informed awareness right now, when you are in the union with that which you are as I am, all other union comes forward. Why am I here? The big question: to come back into the conscious awareness, to be able to work with all of the medicines of this potentiality. And I am so excited that you gave me this moment to share my joy with you again right now. because it was just too big to contain. We are actually weaving the quantum alchemies, all of them. We are heading into a moment that is extraordinary, and all the meteor showers begin in July, building to those torrids that are going to come right in November 4th. And oh my gosh, so much to share. So thank you for letting me have this moment with you right now, because my heart wanted to be with you. I love you so much. And get to StreamCare.com. At the very least, be here Sunday at noon live. So much to share and so much coming up. Have a great time, guys, with your life. Remember, why are you here? To remember who you are while you're in this body of form, so that you can command it, you can be with it, and to stop cutting those deals with God. Surrender what surrender looks like and have some fun, huh? I'm going to keep going. I'm working on the mastery planner. It's pretty amazing, but I just wanted this minute with you. So I hope you enjoyed it. I know I enjoyed it, and I'll see you guys again live on Sunday. Have a great one.